I now declare you spouses for life.
The path to legalizing same-sex marriage in California has been filled with legal ups and downs since San Francisco first issued marriage licenses in 2004. Those were later ruled invalid. Then, the state's high court legalized such unions in 2008. But months later, voters passed Prop 8 banning them. 2 years later, a federal court overturned the ban. Then, the U.S. Supreme Court legalized same-sex marriage. But Prop 8 was never removed from the California Constitution. And State Senator Scott Wiener worries that the U.S. Supreme Court could use the provision to take away the right to marry in the future.
In 2008, the voters put a ban on LGBTQ marriage in the California Constitution. That language is still in there. It's not enforceable today. It's a dead letter because the U.S. Supreme Court has ruled that people have a fundamental right to get married. But if the Supreme Court were to overturn its pro-marriage equality ruling, then that dead letter language in the California Constitution banning marriage equality would come back to life.
That dead phrase in the Constitution says, quote, only marriage between a man and a woman is valid or recognized in California. Prop 3 would eliminate that phrase, adding one that says, quote, the right to marry is a fundamental right. It's a simple phrase that worries some people.
By making marriage a fundamental right without any other definition, it really opens up Pandora's box. There's no definition on the genetic relationship between individuals who can get married, on the age of people who can get married. And I think most crucially, there's no definition on the number of people who can get married.
Jonathan Keller of the California Family Council points at new laws enacted this year by Oakland and Berkeley recognizing polyamorous families.
This new constitutional amendment would override existing state laws that are defining marriage. It would override a law that says polygamy was illegal. And if someone has a fundamental right to get married, nothing in this constitutional amendment or anywhere else in the Constitution would say that marriage is only limited to two individuals.
They are literally making things up about this ballot measure. If the law says that which it does, that you can't marry your sibling, this won't change that. If the law says that you can't marry an animal, this will not change that.
So what was the science packet about?
Prop 3 is personal for Stefisha and Viveka E. Coy-Walton. They were married in 2013 during one of the periods when same-sex marriage was legal in California.
It is just a formality, but that formality is the difference between somebody's happy ending and somebody's, disappointment.
If it didn't matter, it wouldn't still be there.
Yeah.
And if it didn't matter, we wouldn't have to fight to have it removed.
Having both their names on their son's birth certificate isn't just about rights. It's also helped their son when he was picked on at school.
Somebody told me I was adopted because I had two moms.
How'd you handle that?
And I was bummed out and confused.
But what'd you do?
I asked you if you actually were my mom and you showed me my birth certificate.
What was on that thing?
Your name and your name.
Ooh.
Monica Madden, ABC 7 News.